Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, and today I am going to be doing the monthly reading for the water signs, which are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So how I do my readings is I work with the elements on a day-to-day, so that's how I run my readings for this at the moment, and I give a guide for each week, a message from source, basically a support message, and then a lesson or challenge that you can work on for that week. So if this resonates with you, go ahead and like and subscribe, and if there's something that you would like to see me do different, or if you just want to let me know that I'm on point or not on point, or however, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below, and I do read those, so I do appreciate it when they show up. Other than that, I will go ahead and start this reading for the element of water for May of 2022. And today I'm using Kyle Gray's Angel Guide Oracle Beyond Lemuria for the daily message, or for the weekly messages, and for the lessons I'm using the Fairy Tarot by Radley Valentine. So your angel guide for the first week of May, and there are 5 weeks in May. Well, it's 4.5, but we'll go with 5. So your first week is clear, cancel, and release is the angel that you're working with for this first week. And to work with the angel, you can just put out a simple request on the Sunday, which is the first day of the week, and ask the Divine Source God Energy to send you the angel that is most aligned with helping you clear, cancel, and release energy. So what this angel's really going to help you do is help you bring any issues that you have energetically into the current moment, and then with the help from Divine, you can clear them out and cancel any of the karmic lessons or the energetic cords that are still there, to help you free yourself to move forward in a more clear and clean environment. So when you're clearing and canceling, it's not so much you're removing the memory, you're removing the energetic connection to it. And that allows you to move forward and manifest a more positive environment in life. So your message from Source is your sacral chakra, your core of creation. It says, revel in the present moment and feel deeply into your senses, the sensuality of being alive, the breeze on your skin, the scent of earth, the feeling of aligning into the temple you call your body. This card is about diving into the depths of the present moment, where all of your faculties are available for divine creation. Nothing is left in the past or caught in the future. All of who you are unites in a moment of ecstatic conception. Let yourself drop into passion, intimacy, and loving connection with whatever you are birthing into the world, and with whomever you have chosen to co-create with. So, your sacral chakra is just below your belly button and in the middle of your body, or along your spine, depending on which book or teacher that you wish to follow. And that one is all about the creative energy within you. It's generally orange in color, whereas your root chakra is all about grounding and preserving and keeping you safe and alive. Your sacral chakra is the first one that starts to bring in outside influences. So it's when they talk about creation and conception, it can be a literal getting pregnant and having a baby, or it can be the figurative of you have this idea of an art project or a business model or a new financial plan that you want to go through, and that's the conception. Then you go through the process of birthing it, and that's where your sacral chakra really fires up and brings this energy into alignment. So what this is saying is the angel is coming in to help you clear out, but it's because you have something better that is coming forward, and you can't birth and create that next thing if you have things in the way. So working with that angel to clear out the negative or unhelpful energy is a way to move you into that space where you can actually create that new step in your life. So your message or your lesson or your challenge for this first week is the Two of Spring. A bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams. Great progress is being made. So this is talking about making sure that the people that you're working with as you're bringing this new idea, this new art project, business model, fill in the blank, You're bringing it in, and you need to make sure what this card is saying is to have the people with you who are going to support you. And this is in a physical sense. The angels are already aligned with helping you build this. This is talking primarily about the physical world you're in. So if you have an art project that you're wanting to work at, you don't want to talk to the person who hates art. If you have a business model that you're trying to build, you don't want to talk to someone who thinks all businesses are corrupt. If you're trying to conceive and you and your spouse, and you have these friends around you that are like, oh, having kids just destroys your life. You don't want them on board with your plan. So what this is saying is making sure that you collect the right group of people to work with you as you're building this new creation into existence. So on to our second week of May 2022 for water signs. Some of my decks are a little bit bigger and my hands are not quite up to carrying them. So the second week of May is the Sacred Plan Angel. So this group of angels works with the divine to help you manifest what you agreed to when you first manifested onto this planet. So with your sacred plan, what you want to do is you want to look at what is the spiritual aspect of what I am creating in my life at this time. It's not so much I have to make this a spiritual project, but every form of creation has an element of spirit to it. And so what you're doing when you're working with your sacred plan angel is you're trying to align or find the way to align with your higher self, your divine aspect, and with the source of creator God to help build whatever you're doing into the highest and best for all people. Because we're here to uplift and grow, and so this angel is going to help you find your footing and help you grow. So your message from Source, which actually lines up with this really well, is endless opportunities. And it says, it's wonderful to have the freedom to choose. However, sometimes indecision can almost be suffocating. So get into your body and let your gut feeling guide the way, which is your intuition. You have options and opportunities that you may not have realized. The universe wants to give you what you want. It's all there, so reach out and wholeheartedly choose it and take it. While you sit on the fence, your experiences are diluted or confusing. We live in a time of choice. Sometimes reason and limited direction are choices, and we feel unfulfilled as a result. Choose life from a place of heart compassion and integrity, and you can't go wrong. So the angel is working with your sacred plan, bringing you into that higher state, and this is saying you have so many opportunities available, and you're picking the ones that you feel are right at the moment, and that's cool. That's awesome. But what it's saying is make your decisions. Get clear on what you're doing and make the decision. And what Source is coming through saying is you have everything that you need. You're creating new things because it's going to benefit you, and by benefiting you, it also is going to bring benefit to the world at large. Even if you only make one person smile, to that one person, you've changed their world. So this is the sacred plan, and you have the limitless possibilities available to you. It's whether or not you can work through the fears and the barriers that we all put up, like, oh, I can't do that, I'm not skilled at it, or I can't buy the new house, buy the new car, I don't have the money. Well, that's a barrier you're putting on yourself, because if you truly put the effort into the visualization and the planning, you can have anything. It's just a matter of sometimes it takes a little bit more time because, well, we're human. And other times it's just a matter of getting out of our way because the new fill in the blank is waiting for us, but we haven't been able to accept it yet. So your lesson for this second week is the 6 of Spring. Wonderful news is on its way. Smart choices that bring rewards, success, and public recognition. So this card is really lining up for this week, and what it's saying is you know that this stuff is available, whatever it is, and it could be something as minor as you want a friend to go out to coffee with you, but the schedules just aren't lining up. The trick with this one is accepting that it is already available and already around. So instead of saying, I want this, say, thank you, Source, God, Divine Energy, for granting this to me. Thank you for the new house. Thank you for the new car. When you change from wanting to thanking divine source energy for what it is, it actually shifts your energy and your perspective into, it's already here and I'm just grateful for it. So when you start shifting into that, then those possibilities really do open up, and you really do start to realize just how amazing life can be, because you're not looking at it from a negative aspect, you're looking at it from a fulfilled aspect. And that's what the Sacred Plan Angel can help you do that second week of May. So the third week of May 2022 for water signs is the Self-Acceptance card. And this group of angels really works with helping you feel better about yourself. So you're doing this creation the first couple of weeks, and now it's on to getting yourself ready to accept all of these blessings that are coming into your life. And when I say all of the blessings, there's sometimes things that your subconscious is building that your conscious mind is completely unaware of, but when it happens, your conscious mind is like, oh, well, that's such a blessing. Because everything in life is created by our awarenesses and our drives and desires. And so what this angel is saying is, learn to accept who you are where you're at, and also accept the future version of you, which is in a higher frequency, and just work towards that higher frequency, but love and accept where you're at, because when you can accept and love the things that you have, you're going to align yourself with getting better friends, places, cars, houses, whichever you're looking at. But when you can align with who you are now and say, I love myself as I am, and I am working every day to improve, but I love myself now. And when you can say that, this is when the angels really can align with you and help you uplift, because where you're happy now, then you will be happy in the next step. But if you're not happy in the moment, the next step's not going to be that pleasurable for you. So your message from Source is Earth, nurture and nature. And it says, no one can hold you the way nature can. Mama Nature is a powerful healer and transmuter of dense energy. She takes in your out-breath and can transform your woes if you allow yourself to surrender, to lie in the grassy arms or embraced by her branches. All experiences, those categorized as good or bad, are part of the natural cycle that allows for the continuation of life. Trying to suppress or control will only bring you out of harmony. Nature is all around you. Notice her. When you feel that no one else can hold you, she always can. So with self-acceptance, a lot of the times, especially with water signs, because we all tend to get a little emotional at things, we get really into our emotional states and we don't know how to bring ourselves out of it, and we're all wishy-washy and all over the place. What this card is saying is, go outside, touch earth, touch dirt, be out in nature, get connected. And when I say touch dirt, take your shoes off if you are in a place where you can, and put your feet directly onto the grass or the soil, or if there's like a big boulder there, put your feet against that. And if you don't have that ability right now, just take some crystals or some stones that you have around the house, because inevitably there's stones if you're a Pisces or a water sign, and put them on the ground and put your feet on them and allow that energy to anchor you back into your body and away from all of the tumultuous waters that we all tend to carry with us. And that's not a bad thing. Our emotions are how we live, but sometimes when the water gets to churning too much, we can't see clearly. So it's good to ground it down. And that's what the message is. It's just, do you have the ability to stabilize this? And it's time to reconnect with Earth. We've gotten into this time right now where we're so outside of our connection. I mean, to the point where our shoes have rubber soles, which rubber is a energetic buffer. So taking your shoes off and actually touching soil with your feet, because your feet are ways to drain out energy, is one of the healthiest things that you can really do for your emotional and mental states. And that's not medical advice, that's just energetically it's good for you. The 3 of Winter is your lesson or challenge. And it says, reaching out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from the situation, sadness that heals with time. And, wow, that's really reflective today, sorry. What that card is saying is, you're working on self-acceptance. You're working on bringing yourself back into your body and stabilizing those emotions. And what this card is saying is, don't be afraid if you're struggling for this 3rd week, to ask for help from someone you trust. Don't ask, like I said, don't ask someone who doesn't know anything about where you're at emotionally or mentally to help you, because they're going to give you really crappy advice in most cases. But someone who's there to support you and help you understand the self-acceptance part of you and helping you stabilize anything that's going on in your life. Sometimes it's just venting to a friend is enough to bring you into that awareness of, oh, this isn't that big of a deal. So it's things like that that you want to work with this third week. And just remember that those friends in the physical world are more important in a lot of ways than the ones in the spiritual, because, not God source energy, of course, but because they're physically here and they're having an experience similar to yours, whereas when you return to the spiritual, you have access to all of what you've already done. So it's not from a one perspective situation, and sometimes you need that more here and now perspective versus the grand sweeping perspective. So for the fourth week, your guide is forgiveness and understanding. And this is all about the angels that are helping you forgive and understand a situation. Now, with forgiveness, you're forgiving other people, but the one thing that you need, that the angels are wanting me to remind you, and I'm saying you need because that's how it's coming through, you need to forgive and understand yourself. So when you are able to forgive yourself and you let go of grief, anxiety, stress, anger, frustration, because you're forgiving yourself for, oh, I messed up when I was in the 3rd grade and it's been eating at me ever since. Let it go. Forgive yourself for the mistake, take the lesson and move forward, but don't tie yourself to those points. And that's what forgiveness is all about, is learning to let go and release the energy of the past. The lessons will always be with you because it's part of who you are, and that's how you've gotten to the point where you're at in the moment. But it's time to let the energy release it and let it go. And the understanding comes when those energies are released, you can clearly see the lesson and how it's affected you and how it's built you to the person you are today. And from that point, you can move forward to improve even more than where you were at the time when this occurred. And when you forgive other people, you're releasing that connection to them, that cord, because you being angry at them doesn't hurt them. It doesn't affect them in the slightest. It affects you. But when you release through forgiveness that energy tie, then there's no more connection to that situation for you, and you can move forward with a more completed aspect of who you are versus dragging around this weight that has no purpose, really. So your message from Source is the crown chakra, the unlimited self. If I can get that to not be there. The crown chakra is your link to the multidimensionality of your being, the seat of your soul. It gracefully connects you to the heavens. The infinity symbol of limitless appears within the unfolding petals and points to your most potent potential. Here you can delight in the divine strands of light that dance within us when we are aligned with spirit, purpose, and truth. Be present and flow without rigid outcomes. Find more space in your life and find your own way to meditate. Explore the state of flow and be receptive to those messages. So when you work with forgiveness, it's more with your heart chakra, but as your heart chakra heals and opens up, it triggers your crown chakra, which is directly between your ears at the very point top of your head. It triggers your crown chakra to open at a higher rate, because when we are holding on to these things that need to be forgiven and let go of, we're actually pulling our energy down from our crown so that we're not open. We actually start to close off when we have a lot of frustration and anger and things that we haven't forgiven. We actually start to pull in and close off because it's a defense mechanism. What this is saying is, as you work through that forgiveness, remember to send that energy up and open up the crown chakra, because as each petal, in the ancient Hindu belief, it was a 1,000-petaled lotus. And as each petal opens up, it adds light to that stream going up to source and back down into your body. So when you work through the forgiveness and you're really tapping into your crown chakra, you're bringing in this positive healing energy directly into your body. And what Source is saying is, when you start to open up and you release the things that are not helping you anymore, you actually tap into a higher frequency of energy, and that is the way to access it is through your crown chakra. So that's the message. Now your lesson for this 4th week is unity. Do the right thing for the right reason. compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you, and find a spiritually minded community. So going along with your forgiving and your understanding, you're tapping in and bringing that energy to your crown, the lesson this week is find your new balance. Because as you create, as you clear out, and as you work through things, your life is going to shift in ways that you need to find a new balance. And when the card says unity, so it's doing the right thing for the right reason. You're not clearing out because, well, I need to do this because it'll make me feel better. No, you're doing it because it's actually a benefit for you, because as you grow and glow, other people are affected. And you're not creating something new strictly for a financial gain or to prove someone wrong or fill in the blank. You're creating something new because it's a desire you have to bring something new into the world. So you're doing the right thing for the right reason. And a good example of doing the right thing for the wrong reason is a lot of these celebrities in the world, and I'm talking worldwide, who donate massive amounts of money, but they make it really public and they have camera crews with them and look at all this good I'm doing. You just negated every good thing that you're doing because you're doing it for celebrity status. The ones that do it for the right reason are the ones that actually donate and no one finds out about it. That's doing something for the right reason. That's doing something from the heart and not for the ego. And so that's what they're talking about here, is you're doing the right thing for the right reason. And comparing old and new views, we're in a time right now, and I'm not going to pick on any religion or group, but we are in a time right now where there is a massive shift. People want to know truth. And it's not a subjective truth. The truth of reality is we were created by divine. We are connected to divine, God, however you see it, and we have abilities because God created us with them. All traditions, including the Christian tradition, if you read the Bible and you read like the Bhagavad Gita or any of the rest of these sacred texts, all talk about the fact that we are an intuitive creatures, we have a self-healing modality, and we have all these gifts and skills. But the modern religious movement for the last about 500 years or so has made it really clear that those things are not good. Why? So what this card is saying is to compare what's going on now with some of the ancient older stuff and find what works and what is best for you. Your divine, the truth of reality is your intuition will guide you if you are open to it. But we have closed ourselves off because we've been told for so long, following your gut is just weird. Well, no, following your gut is how you survive. That's the instinctive aspect of who you are that keeps you alive. So working with your intuition this 4th week is really important. And for the 5th week, and there's only like 3 or 4 days in this week, I haven't looked at the calendar, so I can't remember if it's 3 or 4, but we'll just do an overlap if it comes up with June. But your 5th week card is vulnerability and freedom. So the angels that are aligned with vulnerability and freedom, it's not vulnerability to be a weakness as in, oh, you're vulnerable, I can pick on you, that's the victim card. Being vulnerable is being able to drop your shields, your mental, physical shields, and be able to step out in a free state. So instead of being scared of going out with your friends because of whatever purpose, you're going to drop that fear and say, no, I can do this. I might be nervous or I might be a little bit afraid, but I can do this. And I'm strong enough and I know where I'm at. And the angels that will come in this 5th week are coming there to help show you that you don't always have to be the strongest person in the room. You don't always have to be the one who's, I'm the tough one, I'm the mean one. Sometimes letting someone else have that and allowing yourself to be more vulnerable is very healing. And when it comes to like an emotional state, you don't always have to have that hard front up. I know with us water signs, we do have that urge to not let people know just how emotional we can be. And what this is saying is sometimes showing that vulnerability is going to help deepen a relationship, a friendship, or a connection. So this angel is all about helping you understand your vulnerabilities, and through that you are going to find an energetic and emotional freedom as well. So your message from Source is the violet flame. And it says, as we deepen our spiritual path, stepping out of the illusionary constructs and become empowered beings, life presents more opportunities to grow than before. Your sensitivity will be heightened, so it may be harder to spend time in places with certain types of energy. Do you have a range of accessible go-to practices for recentering, cleansing your aura, and protecting your energy fields? A routine for intuitive fitness will keep your aura strong and resilient, your energy sovereign, and your vibration high, and help you see through the illusions that block or distort. Bring the violet flame into our meditation and self-care practices for grace. So the violet flame, and if it's easier for you to have a guide that works with it, you can work with Saint Germain. The violet flame is actually a healing and transmutive energy. It brings in a very high spiritual frequency of energy and allows you to change into a higher frequency, different energies. So if you're struggling with things like frustration and anger, and you bring in the violet flame, it's going to bring you to peace and neutrality. It's going to lift up to where you are able to hold it, and it's a continual state of shifting that energy. You're never going to be perfected at it, just as a heads up. So don't be discouraged by, I'm only here and I can't get any further. Well, right now you can't. Give it time, work with it, you'll move up. And what the violet flame can do is help you, even if it's only allowing you to see the next step, that is an improvement. So it's changing your perspective to help you move forward. So working with the violet flame in this 4th week is all about being open to those changes, and sometimes that vulnerability, getting to a point where you can be vulnerable with another person, requires bringing in that sacred violet flame so that you can uplift yourself to be able to be in a position to see that vulnerability and how it can actually be helpful for you. So your message, or your lesson or challenge for this 5th week is the World card. A brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, and a journey that is now complete, and you're ready to start the next. So you've done a lot of work this month energetically, and what this is saying is, okay, you've gotten to this point. Now it's time to start the next journey. You're not the way the tarot is established is when you get to the end of the major arcana, you're starting back at the 0 card, the Fool card. So just because you have completed this round, it's now time to step into that next level. So you've done a lot of work, you've brought your energy up, you've forgiven, you've cleared out, and now you're working on that vulnerability aspect and finding a new freedom. And with that, you're bringing in the violet flame to transmute everything that has been going on so far into its higher frequency. So what they're saying is, just because you've come this far, the journey's not over yet. The journey really on this planet isn't over until we cross over into the spiritual world again. And so just as a reminder, is what they're saying is, be aware that you've come this far, you've completed a lot, and now it's time to take those next steps. So I hope that this resonates for you guys, and if it did, go ahead and leave a like and a comment. I do read the comments, and any suggestions on things to do differently, better, etc. I'm willing to look at all of that. I'm still kind of new at this whole YouTube thing and Odyssey, but thank you for showing up today, and until the next video, I hope you have an awesome month.